Then I took a smidge and applied it down there.
This One's Wife. South Park mock Harry again? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. We recall last year the magnificent South Park episode, which really tore into This One's Wife and Harry, mocking them in relation to their world privacy tour, demonstrating that This One's Wife is completely empty, portraying them as grasping individuals on the shill, that they were figures of derision, and it naturally, massively threatened This One's Wife's control as a consequence of the content itself, and that it was so widely reported on, and so many people delighted in pointing the finger and laughing at them. It really was a miserable time for This One's Wife, not that many people cared about that. The fact is that This One's Wife and Harry produce so much material, hence so many of us comment about them to the extent that we do, that you could have an entire South Park series highlighting their ridiculousness. That you could incorporate so many of the preposterous things that they've done. Episodes about American Riviera Orchard, the supposedly near-catastrophic car chase, the way that they have this strange, almost menage-a-trois relationship with Nacho Figueras, the various failures where she has attempted to launch various initiatives that have gone nowhere, the fact that Harry is a simp to his wife, controlled, a ginger poodle. There are so many different things that could be ridiculed by South Park. And who knows, perhaps one day they'll get down and make further episodes about them. But, according to one particular outlet, they've already done so, with the suggestion that when it was Harry's 40th birthday, he was savaged in a new South Park episode, where they called him the Prince of Nobody. The video explains, the creators of the iconic animated series South Park have dropped a savage and unapologetic episode mocking Prince Harry on the occasion of his 40th birthday, titled The Prince of No One. The episode has been described as a blistering and no-holds-bar attack on the Duke of Sussex, leaving many viewers and commentators divided in their reactions. The episode, which aired on Harry's milestone birthday, depicts the prince as a self-absorbed and entitled figure, desperately seeking attention and validation from the public. The South Park creators, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, have never been known for their subtlety or political correctness, and this latest offering is no exception. Throughout the episode, Prince Harry, voiced by a character resembling the real-life royal, is portrayed as a hapless and pathetic individual, constantly whining about his perceived mistreatment and lack of recognition. The show's writers have taken aim at Harry's public persona, his strange relationship with the British royal family, and his high-profile move to the United States with his wife, This One's Wife. One particularly scathing scene shows the Prince of No One's character begging the residents of South Park to acknowledge his existence, only to be met with indifference and mockery. The episode also features a thinly veiled reference to the couple's controversial interview with Oprah Winfrey, in which they made a series of damaging allegations against the royal family. The reaction to the episode has been swift and polarizing. Some viewers have praised the South Park creators for the bold and unapologetic satire, arguing that the royal family and its members should not be immune to such biting criticism. Others, however, have condemned the episode as a mean-spirited and disrespectful attack on a public figure. This is a new low, even for South Park, said one outraged viewer on social media. They've crossed the line by mocking a member of the royal family in such a cruel and personal way. Defenders of the episode, however, have argued that the show's creators are simply holding a mirror up to the public and exposing the perceived narcissism and entitlement of Prince Harry. They contend that the royal family, with its long history of privilege and power, should not be exempt from the kind of satirical treatment that other public figures routinely receive. South Park has always been about pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo, said one fan of the show. If the royal family can't handle a bit of savage mockery, then maybe they need to take a long, hard look at themselves. The episode's impact has extended beyond the realm of entertainment, with some commentators suggesting that it could have broader implications for the public's perception of Prince Harry and the royal family. In the wake of the episode's release, there has been a renewed focus on the Duke's public persona and his ongoing feud with the British monarchy. Accordingly, this video, which came from Royal Trends, tells us about this South Park episode. And some of the responses read, "Thank you, South Park, love it. Well done, South Park. Well done, South Park, really well done. He left the royal family, so he and she are fair game now. You're going to make him cry. Who says this is a new low? Episodes keep getting better, keep it up, love every one of them and looking for more." Yet, this episode, where Harry is supposedly mocked, that was aired on his 40th birthday, isn't reported anywhere else. The first time, the South Park episode lampooned and ridiculed this one's wife and Harry, it went round the world. Newspapers wrote about it. Broadcasters spoke about it. Social media was abuzz with the laughter and ridicule pointed in their direction. Yet here, there's no comment elsewhere. Silence. That simply doesn't stack up. Given the prominence of Harry and this one's wife, any further episode of South Park, particularly after the success of the first one, would mean that there would be millions anticipating this, salivating at the prospect of seeing them getting another metaphorical kicking. There are many people who want to see them get their just desserts. Many people who are drawn to videos which have titles about the fact that something's gone wrong for them, that they revel in the misfortune of the Sussexes. And therefore, if such an episode existed, you know that millions of people would be watching it, millions of people would be talking about it, and it would be covered in the mainstream media and also across social media. And yet, that has not happened. Why? Because there was no such episode. There was no such episode created, no such episode broadcast. Nobody commented about it. They couldn't because it didn't exist. There was no polarizing reactions across social media because there was nothing to watch. And once again, this is another instance of a small channel creating what is nonsense. It's done naturally for the purposes of trying to get views and to generate money. From time to time, as you know, I will call out these episodes because it is counterproductive to what genuine investigative creators, commentators are trying to do in relation to the exposure of the Sussexes. And this type of material is just a backward step. Along with those that invent material about the Sussexes because they're now hard-pressed for material and they become addicted to the likes, the comments and the money, that they want to impress people, that they need to remain relevant. The same way this particular channel is cynically exploiting misinformation and plays straight into the hands of this one's wife. I highlight this from time to time because it needs to be highlighted. There are many instances of this each and every day, and I could easily identify 3, 4, 5, 10 videos every single day and take them apart. But that would become repetitive. Instead, I will highlight them from time to time as a reminder of the necessity of not being taken in by these videos, of ignoring them in suitable circumstances, declaring that there's something wrong and dealing with them appropriately. But it is a reminder for you to utilize the application of going to the evidence, not just to accept what has been stated in these particular videos, but to look more widely. Has it been reported elsewhere? Is there any substance? Was there in fact an episode? Can I find that it was listed? And you soon find, with not too much effort, that these types of videos are pumping out misinformation, which, as I've explained to you before, this one's wife will be all over. And she will utilize examples of this to attack her genuine critics. The individuals that do unearth information about her, she will have them labeled as liars in an attempt to take them down. And it is important to continue to highlight channels such as this one and others that pump out this misinformation because they pose a threat to the very purpose of those that seek to expose the Sussexes. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.